We are good to go. There we go. Finally, folks. Sorry for being late to the party here. Great to have all of us here just joining us inside our live trading room. Michael, Steve, Kathleen, Leda, Grant, all of us just here, though, inside our live room. I'll tell you what, it's actually habitual for me to say Grant. I want to give a quick shout out to our guy, Grant. Actually, he's recovering right now, but great to see Gillis, Michael, Leda, Bill, John, and all of us just here joining us inside our live trading room. Back on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. I got a bunch of screens up here. Give me a quick second here. I'm normally more timely here. Right down below, right below myself right there, at Cyber Trading You. If you're new to our stream, new to our platform, take care of this here. Nope, wrong button. Hell enough. Good enough there. All right, we are good to go, at least for all of us collectively. So let's start off with this. The iron stock is on the screen. It's up over 6.5%, so that's nice. Listen, I think that this is as good of a swing trade opportunity as it could be a day trade. It has been on a tear since basically the beginning of May. I don't like the Bitcoin mining stocks. I'm telling you right now, I'm sorry. And they'll have their days in the sun every now and then. But, otherwise, if you're looking at Bitcoin stuff, IBIT is your best play. I mean, look at Coinbase today, of course, up over 12.5%. That's about to break 52-week highs as we're talking live right now. Robinhood, shout out to that. That's a couple of points away from breaking all-time highs. There are really good crypto trades across the board. So the mining stocks are not the best ones. Let's just start with that. Iron is the best Bitcoining mining stock, but there's a reason why, though, and it ain't have nothing to do with Bitcoin mining. So this is actually a nuclear play. This is as much of a nuclear play as it is a Bitcoin mining play. I haven't gone too much into the nitty gritty, the functionalities of the company, if they're fueling the Bitcoin mining with nuclear. But I know that they are a huge nuclear play. And if you've been looking at like stocks like OKLO since, well, pretty much the beginning of May, right? Look at the SMR trade since the beginning of May. All these trades just took off. So iron has definitely been moving with them. I like it as much as a swing trade as I would normally a day trade. So, you know what? I'll come back to this here by the end of this meeting. I have no problem just slapping this on our watch list. I just had this on my screen here to begin at least. So just wanted to at least start with that. But there's stocks up a hell of a lot more than iron today. Look at the NKTR up nearly 150% right now. So this has been a roller coaster. First, pop and drop, brutal. This thing is just a disaster, and it could have filled a lot more of the gap, if not have broken even lower. I don't know the news out on the company, but I'm just saying that generally speaking, because it's very possible for that to happen in total. So give me a quick moment. Let me just jump to the news here in just a bit if I can. Nice downtrend break at least, but it's not even to say this is the sweet spot. Once this started to build better support later on, more so around like 10:50, 11 o'clock in the morning, that's what made it a better move heading into the later part of the day. So you don't always need to buy at the bottom, sell at the top. But for the NKTR trade, let's just see. Shares trading higher after the company announced data from the 16-week induction period, the ongoing phase. All right, this is all I care about here. That's all I'll show you. Phase 2B, that's all I care about. You got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, much like our stock trading courses. But there's all sorts of speed bumps, roadblocks in between. There's phase 1A, phase 1B, 2A, 2B. There's primary, secondary endpoints with all this shit. So 2B is actually pretty good. That's like decent as far as the roadmap goes towards FDA approval. Decent is not all the way to the finish line, but it's good. Definitely this thing is not off and running on the very beginning onset. So yeah, this is worth the percent move that it made today. It's not surprising that it's up 157% because of that news. But that just goes to show that you can't buy a stock because news came out, because if so, you might still be down on this trade, right? So it came all the way down towards 16 bucks, 17 bucks, but built better support right around like 18, 19, moved up better from there. The issue is on this one stock, though, is that the order book is terrible. Bad spread, very thin order book out there collectively. So I'm not too high on that. I'll put this on our watch list just to start. Doesn't hurt for us to do that. It's not breaking all-time highs. Oh, this is definitely not breaking all-time highs. Holy smokes. All right. Yeah, that got beat up, what, back from 2020? Or no, not even 2018. So it had a good short squeeze at that time. Ran up from what, 370 bucks all the way up towards 1600. That's not a real move value-wise. That's before reverse splits took place. Hey, the news out today could have been reverse split based, but it was actually like good news with the drug. So maybe there could be more to it over time, but this is still making lower highs in relation to the major peaks that it was making back here. So yeah, it's a day trade. It stays a day trade. Not going to be anything more than that for right now from me. Put this on our watch list, though, for sure, though, to begin the NKTR. Let me just do that here briefly. All right, we keep it moving. YAAS, yes. Yuxin Technology, whatever this is. New IPO. This did break all-time highs, so that's nice to see. Just the issue is, though, that it already made most of its move earlier. It still is making higher lows technically, but it's a roller coaster trade. I'm not really trying to take part in things like that. We've had such a good market today altogether, let alone the stocks that are up percentage-wise. But listen, there's a lot out there altogether. You don't need to trade the craziest object in the room to like make money. If you are here to gamble, then hey, you can keep that to yourself. We're here to make educated decisions, right? And you know what? I do mean to sound pretty rude about it or like to the point about it because hey, we're risking our money. That's exactly what we're doing, right? So you want to be educated. You want to be at least confident with knowing what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. Of course, there's always room for failure, but that's the case with anything in life. So you just want to be strategic and educated about what you're doing. Now, here, getting back to a trade that we've actually done well on for a little while here, the EYEN trade. Nice move on the daily chart. Technically, it's been a good swing in hindsight, but good day trade, just day over day pops. So we were calling it out as such there. But yeah, for right now, this thing moved all the way up to $9 here. It's still kind of holding. Give me a quick sec. I was holding that like a jabroni. It's kind of flat for right now. I'm not too big on that. I'll pass on here for the afternoon. NA, not Narcotics Anonymous, but Nano Labs American Deposit. Pop, drop, that's it. INM. This had some good movement earlier, but unfortunately it was short-lived. You were looking to kind of see the previous peak flip into support. I was calling out 475, 480-ish. It was off of this initial 7 o'clock peak here. So it did it going into like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. This was really good at first. Nice day trade move. And it did flip into support at first, but it failed to make that higher high, right? Let's just be straightforward there. So it failed to make that higher high. If it's not going to make that big move going up, it's going to make that big move just, All right, we keep it moving. What else we got here? BLNE. This is at the high of the day. I like that a lot. But for right now, yeah, order book checks out. Order booking is pretty good for the time being. Definitely not a good swing trade. I mean, I guess technically it has been in hindsight, but long term, this is not something I want to get my hands on. Just a good day trade, though. I'll put it on our list. I don't mind putting it on our list for right now, the BLNE. We got the NKTR. This is a little less volatile, a little bit more tame. CREV, dead, RZLV. This has been a nice trade here, actually. At least from the morning it was. A little slumpy here, but it's actually holding now, pushing back up to resistance. Yeah, I like this actually the most so far. I'm going to put this near the top of our watch list for the time being. RZLV. And that gets me to Coinbase. All right, so going over the other crypto trades that we just kind of showed before. We went over this just a moment ago as we were discussing why we don't like the mining stocks. Well, the exchange-based tickers like Coinbase and Robinhood, those are your two healthiest crypto plays outside of IBIT. Outside of that, you could probably use MSTR here and there. It's not up as much today, but killed it on Hood earlier today. That was a nice day trade earlier. Back testing a strategy that's geared towards the larger cap stocks and like day trading the options. So absolutely nailed it, hit it out the park on Robinhood earlier. Ended up getting out right before 10:30 on the first half, and then I think the second half it was right when it ended up pulling back here and took me. No, that was early. Right? So here, first half I ended up getting out right before it started topping off, and then right here at this point I ended up getting out on the second half. So that was my trade. But heading into the early afternoon, we were looking for round two to squeeze back up on it, and so far it's been working out pretty well. The key though is just on Robinhood. You got to wait to see this try and flip this into support now at 82. So far, so good. Looks pretty good so far. Robinhood, Coinbase, those two at least we're going to slip on our main list for right now. Is IBIT like flying here? Not really. It's healthy trade, but right now we'll focus on those others at least first. Now, BBAI. BBAI is one of the best trades we've had going this afternoon so far. I mean, from the morning even, but Kathleen, big shout out to her who had called this one out, one of our longtime members and students, one of our successful traders nonetheless in our room, but she knows what she's doing. She makes great call out. She's been with us for a while. She knows what to look for. And that's where it all begins, folks. We don't control what these stocks do, but we control what we call out publicly in our room. So, for this to be moving up at the time and it was like at the high here and it has a good spread and cheap, relatively speaking. So, all of us can get our hands on it. It was a great call out, great move at the time. I'll put this on our list, actually. I'll put this back on our list. It's not showing as much light for the afternoon session, at least, but it's still holding support. If it dumps back down here, maybe try and see $5 hold as support. If not that, I was saying to us earlier here, it was actually this, but I'll even move it up. 450, 475 area. If that could flip historically into support, we're going to be off and running. So I don't know if we'll even capture that, if there's going to be even enough juice to have pull this back down. This may just kind of hold higher here than run up. But I think that that's a really strong sweet spot to look for a bounce historically. It was right here. This was resistance for a little while, the upper line here back at the end of last year. So I love this area. It's just a matter of seeing if we can get this retested as support to look for a swing bounce. But it may not pull back at this stage. We'll see. But I like this trade regardless. Day trade, swing trade, the BBAI. Keep it going here. Keep it going. Sky, 350 maybe. Not really too big on that. Capper, hate that stock. Call it as I see it. What do you want me to say? Prime, PRME. Actually, shout out to one of our students here just before, because to be transparent, like I knew it was tradable, but it wasn't really like moving as well at the time. And like they were saying, like, it was moving a little bit on volume. I was like, I don't know, and kind of like watching the grass grow a little bit. But it popped about 30 minutes, 45 minutes afterwards, though. And it looks a lot better now than it did just before, even if it's at a slightly higher price. This looks really good here for the afternoon. So one of our students, I think it was Tim, this has a good order book, though. That part I do like. Clean, really good order book there. So great call out with the liquidity. Just at first, I thought it was a little flat, making a decent move now, though. So I'll put the prime trade on our list. Go to our scanner here, see what else we got. Pony, needless to be said, that goes to the top of our watch list at this point. Fausto flag building at the highs. Even though I just said needless to be said. Well, I just said it. Right there. Same pattern on SMR. Going back to the nuclear trades we just spoke about. Hertz, that was another one I think that Tim had called out just before. I'll add Hertz there at least. I'll add the SMR at least. Listen, we got a great market to work with here this afternoon. So I am trying to cherry pick and find the stocks that are moving the best right now, just on the best momentum. Like this. The hell happened here? Nice breakout just all of a sudden as we're talking. All right, we'll take it. Sunrun. Give a quick shout out to my buddy Matt. He's a project manager over there, and he was not happy with the drop off over the last week. That got crushed. All these energy trades fell off, like 50% in a week. So there could just be short covering. Let's see, from this morning or from yesterday morning, China's solar installations hit a record high in May ahead of policy deadline. Whatever's happening right now, hey, we'll take it. The shorts are covering. This is a bit of a gap fill that you could see here on the daily chart. So I love this trade now at this point. All right, we'll add it. Run. Chuck, I know you did well on SEDG. So this might be an energy-based play, not just for run, but for all these other stocks here. Yeah, look at this. So you got something coming out right now on the solars, the energies, SEDG, ENPH. How you doing? All right. So if anyone has the news out on the solar stocks, just post it in the chat board. Let me know, because I just wasn't able to find it right there. I didn't see anything really. So, all right, let's keep it moving across the gainer side, though. Just here first. I'll catch up with all chat just in a bit. We'll obviously find some more. Remember, if the spread is big, it is just a distraction at this stage. You'd rather focus on stocks just trading much better volume. Noise. Even the SMR, if you are not trading something on as big of a spread, it's just noise to you, even though we're putting it on our main list. Obviously, we're catering not just to new traders here, but also to traders that make 500, 1,000 a day with us consistently. So for those students, you want to focus on some more volatile stocks, like with reason. But otherwise, liquidity. We just spoke about that in phase one, my friends. Um, Celsius. All right, we're kind of like nearing 5% anyway. So listen, the whole market's up right now. I just got to cross my T's. I got to dot my I's here. And I got to go across the loser side here, see if there's anything good. But I don't think so. That's going to be my prediction. I think that there's going to be very little time spent on this losers list. Circle is down today. Not really shorting that, even though it is technically easy to borrow my screen. Just, again, liquidity. Just talked about it. All right, folks, let me know anything else looking good. PLTR from Jeff. That has good liquidity. That does. So right away we know that. But hey, if you're doing well on this trade, then I'm rooting you on because it's tradable. It's not moving any more special than we've seen it in the past. So that's where I kind of like just say to everyone, like, hey, if I put this on our list, I got to put like Amazon on our watch list here. This is still kind of up and up over 2.5%, right? Got to put Apple on our. Okay, maybe not Apple. Maybe not Apple. We're not going to put Apple on our list either way. This ain't looking good. But you get my drift. If it's near the highs, it could still be tradable and moving into the afternoon for you. So if there is a stock that you do well on specifically, which I know Jeff does very well on Palantir on a weekly basis, if not daily, I'm sure he'll keep that more to himself and focus on that. Why not? SRFM. Nice move. Definitely. Probably would have had to rerun my scan. Find this. Or maybe this was already here. I just had to run it here. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously up a lot. Just had to check the spread. So it's tightening up right now, if anything. So I like it. Yeah, we'll put this on our list here at this point. Okay, so give me a sec here, guys, because if you feel like you suffer from trader's dyslexia, no one suffers it worse than Fausto. But over my tenure here, I've gotten it bad. You got SMR. You got SRFM, and then don't confuse any of those with the stock from the past week or two, the SRM trade, right? Remember this from last week? So we're not focused on this one, but we got the SRFM and we got SMR. I'm spacing them out on our watch list. So yeah, we'll be good to go. Real quick from Tim on YouTube. Shout out, Tim. Great to have you here, Tim. SOGP. Probably better that you're blocking my ugly mug. Yeah, it's up a lot. Wow. So missed out on this here just before. So credit to Tim. Nice call out, at least with it up as much as it is. Just this is an example, though. I'm not a big fan of the spread. Looking at how thin the order book is, the spread right there. So no problem on passing on this, especially when we already have as much as we have to work with for the afternoon. So yeah, I like what we got. Just going to skip you, Bill, for a quick second, if you don't mind, of course, with good reason. Chuck, SMR, we already got that. That's good to go. Already on our list. Avco, not as much there, Sharon. It's a very strong stock swing trading wise. If you're swing trading it, completely different ball game from what I'm looking for in the afternoon. We're kind of just focused more than anything on day trades, but this has been a very strong swing trade of late. For a long time, it's been. Shout out Nancy Pelosi. All right, so what else we got? I think, Bill. We're going to get to Bill there. All right, so now Bill on IREN. Yeah, so IREN, I thought there was a case for this to try and make a nice pop. 1150 is just basically your breaking point to see it just try and tip that there. I do think that it's a really good move over time, not just as a day trade, but a swing trade too. I say that just because the nuclear aspect, not as much the Bitcoin aspect. So this is a nuclear play, a nuclear play, a nuclear play all the way through. Good order book. It's inexpensive, relatively speaking. So that's just why I love it, right? You could say that for a lot of stocks, but Ishan, I'm going to answer you just once we finish up here. Just give me a quick chance to reset. I'll jump back on the mic in about 5 or 10 minutes myself. I'll take everyone here into the afternoon. If you're joining us on social media, if you are on Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., 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 hey, we're going to finish up at least for right now, but a couple of things. First and foremost, we have a podcast tomorrow and an open house webinar on Thursday. We typically do that each week. But if you're new to our stream, new to our channel, just subscribe right down below. You got that big subscribe or follow button right there at Cyber Trading U. Just be sure to do that right there. And even hit that QR code on the corner left of my screen here, corner left with your phone, with your camera. That will actually register you for our next free live event for this upcoming Thursday. But if you wanted to join us inside our live trading room, kind of skip the queue, jump the queue, go right ahead inside our live trading room, just go right down to the link scrolling down. That will eventually show up right down below. Right there it is, c2.co/trial. We look forward to having you there. But give me a quick sec because we're going to jump right back to our live trading room for the next hour and exclusive there, at least taking us into the close. So, hey, best of luck trading to all of us here. And again, I'll be back on there in just about